All right, so here we are in the podcast part of my channel here at Landscaping, and I came across this convention here in Long Island, and I came across to the stand of Sparrow Landscaping, and I have Marty with me today. How you doing, Marty?
Just fine. How are
hey,
you
man.
today?
Thank you for accepting the interview.
Oh, not a problem.
All right, so basically what we want to do is we want to give more information to fellow landscapers out there and find out exactly what are the little habits that you guys do to make a difference, you understand, to put that increase on your game as far as landscaping.
Okay.
You know, we can start with first, how did you become a landscaper? What was the first thing? How long ago was this?
1972. I was going to school for architecture, and I excelled in architecture, but I felt it was too rigid and too many rules and too many constraints to really explore things the way I wanted to. So I found that in the landscape, there was less regulation on what you could do and a little bit more freedom structurally on things you could do. You could do things more sculpturally.
Okay.
In that time. Now architecture's changed a little bit. There's a lot more sculpture in architecture than there used to be. But that's how I got into landscape.
And this is back in 1972.
1972.
Now, did you went all out first as far as getting a bunch of trucks and start buying a route for landscaping, or you started with one client?
No, actually, at first I was working for another company that was a manufacturer of asphalt block pavers, and I was a project manager for that company for a while.
Okay.
Then they got rid of the paving division of the company, and I took that company over.
Okay.
And then after 9/11, I decided to stop doing the commercial work and the New York City Parks Department work and do my own designs. And so I started building my own designs instead of building other people's designs.
All right, so back then you already established a couple of clienteles in there, and all you had to do was just kind of send the word around that now you were doing landscaping, and that's pretty much where you were able to get a good amount of clients right there from the start?
Well, it used to be print advertising where that would do the little home booklets that got delivered to your home.
Okay.
But that print advertising died out after a while. Then we started doing these home shows. So for the last 10 or 12 years, 90% of our work comes from word of mouth, other people we had done, and the other 10% comes from new clients that we pick up on these home shows.
So referrals and new clients from
the
events like this,
now,
right?
Yeah.
So this definitely helps out a lot as far as exposing the business right now. That's what you're saying. You've been doing it for 10 years consecutive, right?
Yeah. 3 in the spring, 3 in the fall. Yeah.
That's very nice. That's very nice. I have a few questions here, Marty.
Sure.
Let's go back to the first time when your company did the first $1 million. How long ago was that in sales?
Well, this company, we don't do $1 million in sales anymore. But my old company, we did multi-million-dollar sales from the first year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the one where you was
the commercial
part, right?
It was New York City Parks Department, New York City DOT, and private commercial bid work in New York City.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that was something where you were able to, on the first year, accomplish that. Well, that's kind of like the first goal of every entrepreneur. I see a young entrepreneur where they say, you know what, I want to make my first $1 million in sales. I'm not talking about net, but probably in sales. That's a good start. And my goal was that from the beginning, and I'm still working towards that, but I felt like, hey, you in the first year, you were really good. I mean, that must have felt you a lot of accomplishment right there.
Yeah, with because of the connections I had when I started the company,
right.
I had a lot of connections with architects and with the Parks Department, with the DOT and New York City school system in order to get these bids. The way the bids work is you go in and you take the bid documents,
right.
You see what plants and what hardscape is on there,
right.
And then you put a number together for it and you submit your bid. And if you're the low qualified bidder, you get the job.
That's very interesting what you just said right now as far as connection. I think, would you say that's one of the key elements to take in consideration when you're in the business as far as your connections?
Yeah, networking is very, very important. Like what you're doing now with the social media network, I've never done before, but that is a form of, making connections. The more connections you can make in a business, and if you're a person who has integrity, that comes through in your connections. So other people think of you, even competitors think of you sometimes when they need help or they can't handle a project. you'll get a phone call, and that happens to me sometimes.
That's very good. That was going to be my next question, actually. What type of habits do you feel like you ought to do in order to increase your sales and exposure? And you just mentioned, I think, it's connections, and the integrity part also plays a big role also as well. I feel that that's very important. I have another question here. Let's go and see if we can share. You say you have about, since 79 you've been doing this, right? 72. 72. Can we share 2 important tips that you're probably using right now that is giving you a lot of increase on sales revenues for your company that we can share with our fellow landscapers so they can have an idea, so they can spark something in their mind, say, you know what, Marty's doing that, let me try a little bit different here, because I'm all the way in the West Coast, it's a little different. Can we give 2 tips?
Yeah, well, I guess the main tips would be on time and be honest with your clients, because if you're on time and you honest with them and tell them up front what you feel about the project and about the cost of the project, I think that translates, and people have more respect for you. So that is the most important thing, I think, when dealing with the clients. And the other one is imparting your knowledge on them. Anybody can go to a nursery and pick out a couple plants or see some brick and put it on the ground. But if you impart your knowledge of, sun and soil conditions and maintenance required to do stuff, people, pick up on that, and they say, okay, the other guy just said he was going to put this plant, that plant, but they didn't ask the questions about, maintenance and, how you dealt with things, irrigation, what was required for a plant. So maybe I'm not vocalizing it correctly, but basically, if you impart your knowledge to them when you're working with it, people respond to it, I feel.
So let's assume this. So first is on time, and then is the integrity of the price. You're talking about as far as being honest with the price, being on time, and we're also talking about knowledge, to have more knowledge of your craft. And that will come with practice, I believe, right? Because if you have a young entrepreneur that just started a landscaping business, he doesn't really know that much yet, but with time, if he's open to that, hey, I need to learn more, I need to read more books, or I need to look at more videos, he'll have that. If he's open to that mind, or he could just be a guy who's like, you know what, I'm just going to cut grasses and that's it, and I don't care. So, you're bound to just hit a limit there. Right?
Exactly.
But now, looking at it differently, if you're looking at, okay, you know what, I need to learn more to give more information about this product, and perhaps the client is going to be able to accept that, be more also knowledgeable, and probably spread that news to other of their friends.
Yep.
And now they'll give you a call after that.
Yeah, if someone has confidence that you know what you're talking about, like that's what I mean by imparting your knowledge on people. When people understand that you know what you're talking about and you can make them believe it because it's true, then that's like one of the keys to expanding. Because I have so many people that get referrals to. That's most of our business, because they know that I'm going to tell them the truth and I'm going to do the right thing.
Hey Marty, thank you very much for your time. I know you got a couple of guys here coming in and out, and I know you want to talk to them, all the clients, and like you said, this is part of your business where you need to spread the word about your business also, and that's how you get client acquisitions here. Hey man, I appreciate it very much.
Enjoy.
All right, I'm going to post this later on. Yeah.